when there is a dispute, taxpayers really do not pay liabilities because they owe them. Sometimes some taxpayers pay liability because they are unable to prove that they don't owe them. For you to show that proof, it will require the record that you have kept. Hello everyone, welcome to the month of February. This is yet another month in 2026 where we are advancing the implementation of our Tax Reform Act. On this session, I want us to look at something very important, and that is record keeping. How important is record keeping in this season that we are in? A lot of people do businesses in Nigeria. A lot of people have transactions. But when it comes to keeping record, how important is that particular subject matter to the probability of your success when it comes to tax matters and regulatory matters in the country? Let me tell you a quick story. There was once upon a time someone who had been doing business, a very lucrative business at that, at a very grassroots level, then caught the fancy of a foreigner who was interested, came to Nigeria and said, when I get back to my home country, I'm going to pitch what you are doing and then we'll see how we can support you. We indeed did that, but by the time the group of investors were then going to be having conversation with this Nigerian, he was unable to demonstrate the potential that the business had because he was saying everything by mouth. Now, this is the time where you want to have records that can provide evidential proof of the potential that is locked into your business. Not just for only tax matters. We're going to talk about where it becomes relevant even for tax-related matters, but even for growth that you are desperately desiring as a business owner. This is not the season where you just shove every record anywhere you just see them. You don't have record of income, you don't have record of cost. You know, sometimes you may even be shooting yourself in the foot because you are not taking adequate record of what your cost profile for the business should be. You know, when it comes to business, because we are now very participatory with tax matters, you have to take the issue of cost very seriously, because when your cost profile is wrong, you would have your profit to be wrong. Profit may be higher or lower than what it is, and that is the beginning of dispute with the taxman. So, for personal reasons, your record-keeping attitude has to change in this 2026. This is February. You have to be deliberate about it. There has to be a time where you sit back and say, what has happened this month? You have to have designated people that are going to take care of that for you, depending on, of course, on the size of your business. You cannot continue to do the same thing you've been doing for many years that you've been doing this business. And availability of cash is not the same thing as profit. Your business may be awash with cash because of the turnover you are making, but until you are able to take your cost away from your turnover or your revenue, you cannot ascertain your profit. So today's session is really about stressing the importance of record keeping. It is important for the growth of your business. It is important to demonstrate the fact that you have undergone or how the year has really been. It is important to also defend yourself when it comes to tax-related matters. You have to do transaction in such a way that at some point, someone may dispute what you have said. And when the person disputes what you have said, the person who has authority in the place of a tax authority, for instance, you would have to fall back on the records that you have kept. Remember that Nigeria has also recently adopted the concept of tax ombud. A tax ombud is someone who has been designated by the country to help you as a taxpayer. If you check some of my videos in the past on YouTube, on my YouTube channel, you will definitely see them there, or even on other social media platforms. You'll see a particular video where I did explain all of the benefits of having a tax ombud. If the tax ombudsman assigned to your case wants to help you, for instance, it would have to rely on the record you have kept. So again, I'm saying this is not the season for you to be careless about your transaction. This is not the season for you to be nonchalant about how your transactions proceed or not taking record of what the proceedings of your business, what they are. On a final note, remember this, that taxpayers, when there is a dispute, taxpayers really do not pay liabilities because they owe them. Sometimes, some taxpayers pay liability because they are unable to prove that they don't owe them. And for you to show that proof, it will require the record that you have kept. I hope you start changing your attitude this February and start being a business owner that keeps adequate record. Until I come your way again, I remain Oladejo Adeyemi, and this is the Insight with Oladejo. Bye for now.